All right, good morning, traders. Today's August 7th, 2025. My name John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That is the day trading service for the hit and run candlesticks family. I want to thank everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you so much for following my content, subscribing to my content, liking my content, sharing my content. Special shout out to John Jordan, Bob Jordan, Kathy Sarah Roasted. You guys all know who you are. Thank you so much for spreading the word. Thank you. I love that. Appreciate that. I value that deeply. All right, let's drill down. Let's see what's going on for today. Got a couple of announcements. First, I want to make an announcement on open house Monday, August 11th. All right, right way options with Doug Campbell. All right, excellent with the options, excellent trader. There you go. He's going to do a morning market review. He's going to go over trading rules at work, select the right stocks and options, how to select the right option strike for that stock. He's going to go over some entries and exits, some trade management, stop losses, and the power of spreads on how to grow a small account. All right, so there you go. Now, I'm going to leave a code in the description. All right, but if you cannot wait or you need this right now while you think about it, okay, you can pause the video, okay, and then right here, scan this with your smartphone, and that will take you to the registration page, all right? Your smartphone should be able to pick up a link. Click the link, open up the registration page, and get registered. Now, let me just remind you, attendance is no charge. It's free. It's free education, all right? I urge everybody to get free education, especially from these guys. Quality content, really, really good education, all right? It's free education, all right? But you got to get registered to attend, all right? So that's Monday morning, 9:25 to 4, August 11th, 2025. Hey, good morning, Julie. Yes, exactly. Amazing education. Good morning, Lenny. All right, let's go over the markets today. All right, let's drill down and see what happened yesterday. One more announcement, one more. And this is happening today. We got member e-learning. This is what happens when you're a member out there in podcast land. Okay, when you're a member, you get to attend these special e-learning events where we go over how we each use the 3/8 trap. Okay, so Doug's going to give a presentation at noon. Everything starts at noon. You may see my monitor turn off around noon because I'll be in there watching Doug, all right, as well as my microphone. Okay, so I'll be in there with Doug and Rick. Okay, so Doug starts at noon, I start at 1, and Rick starts at 2. We'll have a little break in between each one of us. That way, if you got to go get some refreshments or you got to go make a little break for something, all right, we'll give you like a little 10-minute break in between each one of us. All right, so that's today, Thursday, starting at noon with Doug, all right, how I use the 3/8 trap. All right, bring your questions, all right, and we'll probably talk about the markets and a whole lot of other stuff as well. All right, so there's member e-learning, Thursday, that's today, at noon, all right, so now let's hit the markets. We got that. All right, today's August 7th. You guys already know that. Okay, so my SPY pivot this morning, 631.70. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY, FNGU, and QQQ yesterday made on the daily charts higher lows and higher highs, closing over bullish crosses and over their 17 EMAs. Diamond Dow made an inside day. Okay, that's a lower high and a higher low, closing inside a bearish trap but under the 17 EMA. IWM made an inside day as well, closing over a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute bullish consolidation. All right, so let me just say my favorite trade. I'm gonna go over it over and over and over. I'm going to drill it into you guys because you're not going to see this all the time. This is a rare opportunity that you have right here, right now, okay? 2-hour, 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. This is my favorite trade. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP inside the 2-hour uptrend. That's inside the daily uptrend. That's inside the weekly uptrend. That's inside the monthly uptrend. Okay, I got all the time frames pushing the wind into my sails, so my stock rises higher and higher and higher. Okay, that's my favorite trade. Okay, you don't have that all the time. Okay, you're gonna find out probably in about 6 months that doesn't happen all the time. All right, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, so that's my favorite trade. Again, SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend, 10-minute bullish consolidation. Silver still in an uptrend and bullish, made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish cross and above the 17 EMA. Gold in a daily downtrend, but not moving down. Okay, still up there in that 300 zone. Okay, looking good. In a daily downtrend. That's bullish up there, by the way. It's in a daily downtrend, not moving down. Made a lower high and a lower low yesterday, closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. USO in a new daily downtrend, made an outside day, horrid red candle. You got to see this. That's a higher high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. UNG still in that bearish head and shoulders prep pattern. Okay, still in a daily downtrend, made a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17. US dollar index still trying to hang on to that uptrend. They had a down day yesterday. They closed near 98.17 area. SPY max pain, that's for the options that expired today, okay, is 631 with a put to call ratio of about 1 put to each call that expires today at 415, okay? Every one of these little stars kind of got the launch pad getting constructed. If you see a star next to it, all right, kind of poised for maybe a breakout sometime in the near future, all right? TTD, COUR, PIGY or PGY, EVLV, and LITE, okay? They all got, you can look at Zeta. Zeta broke out, okay? So might want to let that one cool off for a bit and then try to pick it up. But Zeta had a nice rip yesterday. All right, so all of those are, and all of these are in daily uptrends. At least they're above the 17 EMA. All of these are in daily downtrends. Okay, that means they're below the set prices, below the 17. MBLY setting up a platform to drop down lower. All right, and BRO setting up a platform to drop down lower. Okay, so that's consolidation on the low side where price moves down. Okay, price would move down and then build a platform for another leg lower like that. Okay, so that would be the direction for that. Okay, so there you go. So BRO and MBLY. I like those two kind of head lower. I like that consolidation, tight consolidation down at the lows. All right, getting ready to drop lower. We'll see what happens. Hey, good morning, Bobby. Good morning, Fido. I got to check out Intel. Hey, let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. Okay, so that's these right here. All these are in bullish uptrends over the 17. All of these are in bearish downtrends under the 17. For those of you people that know what delta neutral is, you know, you probably like to have, you know, maybe 60% of your portfolio bullish, because we are in a bullish market, and then another 40% on a bearish on the other side. Okay, so you got some short, you got some long, kind of keeps your delta neutral right there. You're going to be a little bit weighted to the bullish side because we are very bullish at this time, but you can do 50-50. But right now, kind of like might think about just giving a little bit edge to the bulls because we are bullish. All right, so we're going to check out Intel. So yesterday, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I saw it on social media that Mr. Trump announced that Apple, all right, which is like $3 trillion in market cap, is planning to, I'm going to say, build some facilities. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're going to invest over $600 billion, all right, in maybe infrastructure in the USA for them. It's not for the USA. It's mainly for them, but it's going to be built in the USA. So they're going to invest $600 billion into business inside the USA, I guess, and it's looking to maybe they're going to put together some computers and phones here in the USA. That would be interesting. Haven't seen that in a while. That would be nice to see them bring the manufacturing back home to the USA. Okay, so there's that. So, and then I heard that Mr. Trump yesterday put in a chip tariff, okay, for graphics. Kind of wants to keep the AI here at home and all of the conduction. So there is I think there's a graphics chip or maybe a CPU chip tariff that's going to take place soon. I don't know if he signed it yet, but they made an announcement on that yesterday as well. So you can see technology is coming back to the USA. Not that it ever left, okay, but a big part of the manufacturing went overseas for a long time, for about 20 years. So it's nice to see that come back home. We'll see what happens. I'm sure everything's going to cost more. You're not going to find. You're never going to find the labor so inexpensive as we did before. Okay, it's not going to happen here in the USA. But that's what's coming. All right, it'll definitely be good for our economy. All right, and they're building there. All right. Well, hey, good morning, Stefan. Good morning, Sarah, Kathy, Roasted, all of you. Thank you. All right, so SPY, you got 10 minutes. Okay, so yesterday, what did we have? Well, we had a little flake out. Okay, right here where we went down, then up, then down, then up, and then we finally shook out right here. We got that 10-minute uptrend. Here's the big clue yesterday, okay? And they missed it. You notice they were right here. All they had to do was reach out and touch it, okay? They did not fill gap. Okay, that was the clue right there that we're getting bullish for the day. In that they got down here twice and they never filled gap, okay? When you see that, soon as green takes out red, it's game over. Like, they're not coming back for a long time or for a while anyways. Okay, so look, they failed to fill gap, okay, which tells you what? The bulls have the edge. The bulls got the power. The bulls got the ball. All right, so 10 minute. So we had a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Hey, didn't we just talk about that? 10-minute uptrend over VWAP right there. I love 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Love that. So we traded this to the upside, and then you can see it kind of went flat. A little bit of consolidation over prior consolidation. So 10-minute into the close, I'm going to call it bullish consolidation yesterday. Okay, bullish consolidation on that 10-minute into the close, all right? On the 2-hour chart, okay? You can see the 3 came from underneath, all right? The 8 EMA here, all right? And we left off with a 2-hour uptrend. This is the 2-hour chart. We were under, and now we came right back up over, all right? So we have a 2-hour uptrend. Okay, so I'll be looking for that 10-minute uptrend today to manifest somewhere. I don't know where it's going to manifest. I hope I can find it. But that's what I'll be looking for today, because I got my 2-hour uptrend, I got my daily uptrend, I got my weekly, my monthly. Everything's looking good. I hope I find a nice 10-minute uptrend sometime today, because I like to trade that. Okay, so there's SPY on the 2-hour chart. Let's look at the daily chart. Okay, daily chart, higher low, higher high, closing. See the 3 EMA, that's the yellow line crossing over the 8. Okay, so we got a cross. That's a bullish cross because we're crossing from under the 8 over the 8. Okay, so higher low, higher high. Okay, closing over the bullish cross and over the flat 17 EMA right here. Okay, so that's bullish. Anytime you're closing over the trap and over the 17, that's bullish. So there's SPY. On the weekly chart, we're just going to touch base real quick. See the green dots? See the trap, 3 on top of the 8. Another 3-ace trap right here. We're going to be talking about 3-ace trap at noon, all right, with Doug. And then I come in at 1. See? Which way is the trap pointed? Hey, it's pointed up, okay? That's bullish right there, okay? That's what I use the trap for. Tell me what the market's doing. If it's pointed up, then we're bullish. If it's up over the 17, good chance we're bullish, all right? As long as it's pointed up over the 17. Okay, so there's the weekly in an uptrend. Monthly chart, okay? Again, which way is that 3-ace trap pointed? Oh, it's pointed up. We're bullish, okay? Went flat right here, a little dip, and then now we're back again. We're pointed up again. 3-ace trap is pointed up. Notice 17 keeps rising up. Okay, so SPY, monthly, uptrend right there. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. No, let's take a look at the game plan. All right, let's visit out the game plan, see what we got going on here. Okay, so let me find, here it is. That's what I wanted. Okay, so again, this morning, SPY, 631.70, that's my pivot. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Okay, we have a red erases green entry down here underneath. Yeah, that's right. 629.75. So under 629.75, we have a red erases green entry. All right. If you have a 10-minute downtrend, that happens to break through down there. We have a green erases red entry right here over 633.25, and you can see price action all the way up there right now. So over 633.25 is the green erases red entry up there. Okay, 10-minute uptrend over that. I don't know where we're going to start out this morning, okay? Maybe we start out up here, maybe we start out here. We'll see what they want to do, all right? So there's SPY on the 15-minute chart. I use the 10. Okay, there's a 10. There's a 10 right here. Okay, this is the game plan. All right, we're already up over the green. All right, so I'll be looking for a green 10-minute uptrend to develop since we're gapping up this morning. I'm going to tell you we're all the way up there to resistance 2. So we may not see an uptrend till maybe afternoon, all right? A 10-minute uptrend, maybe not even till after like 1 o'clock, 1:30, okay? Because we're gapping up so high up here, all the way up to resistance line number 2. Probably gonna flood back here, try to find support somewhere. On prior price action over here, there's a little bit of support right there at right around 635. You see this valley low between the two peaks. So we may pull back to this 635 area, and I'll zoom into a 3-minute chart, all right, and I will look for the reversal on the smaller time frame right in that area, that 635, 16, 635 area. That's where I'm going to be looking for a J hook to manifest right there as price pulls back. Right now, price is at 636.60. Again, 635, I'm looking for a J hook to manifest in that area. So there's SPY. There's the game plan for SPY. All right, and what kind of options will I like to trade on those 635? Probably the 640 calls that expire tomorrow. 1 day till expiration on the multiple of 5. Okay. Now, what do I like? I like I like Friday options. Fridays have more open interest. That's why I like Friday options. And I also like the multiple of 5 because the multiple of 5 has usually more open interest than the numbers in between or the integers in between. Okay, so I like 1 DTE Friday option on the multiple of 5, $3 to $15 out of the money. Okay, I like 8 DTE days till expiration Friday options on the multiple of 5, $3 to $15 out of the money. Okay, my favorite. I like a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP and breaking away from VWAP, okay? No crisscrossing. You get a couple crisscrosses before noon, you got chop, okay? Wait till they clear the chop, okay? 10-minute. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP and breaking down and away from VWAP. I like those as well, okay? Whenever price separates itself from VWAP, there's a lot of opportunity there for a trader, okay? When price just crisscrosses back and forth, you can make money, okay? You have to be very strategic on how you do it. Just selling, buying the bottoms and selling the tops. Okay, when you got price, all it does is just consolidate and move over to the right. Okay, but be very careful because you could get a reversal, you could get a breakout. So be careful with those. All right, we're bullish, so I would be more inclined. All right, to buy the bottom and sell the top, and I would not want a downward position selling the top to come down here and take profit down there. I would continually trade in the upward direction because we're bullish, so I would trade in this direction like that. All right? I would favor that because we're bullish. Okay? Even though we're consolidating and it's waffling back and forth, I would not do that. No. That doesn't work for me. I would, pick the bottoms and accumulate down here and then exit 60-70% of my position up there. And as it pulls back, I would reload and I would just keep doing it over and over during the consolidation, okay? Going counter trend is not a good idea. It's a recipe for disaster, okay? This market is very bullish, okay? Don't underestimate it. It is powerful. All right. We are in the middle of an AI bubble. All right. This thing could explode at any time. Just wait till those chip stocks start to report. Or you already got good political news. All right. For the chip stocks. Just wait till they start to report earnings. You could see a huge blast off. All right. So I don't know when they report, but I'm just saying, get ready for it. There's a possibility for a huge blast off. We'll see what happens, all right? Possibility, I said. I didn't say guaranteed, all right? So there's the SPY game plan. All right, let's take a look at the QQQ game plan. All right, QQQ pivot, 565.30. Look at QQQ yesterday. Beautiful 10-minute, thank you, John Jordan, uptrend all day long. All right, look at that. All day long, right there, 10-minute uptrend. Not once did the 3 touch the 8 EMA. You had a nice, beautiful 10-minute. Now, right here, we went over to the right. Okay, see all those little thin dojis? But not once did the 3 touch the 8 EMA on the 10-minute chart. And then you got consolidation over prior consolidation. And I'll tell you that, 100 times, that is a bullish behavior. That is a bullish environment. Consolidation over consolidation. What you normally get, not all the time, but I'm just saying, probably 9 times out of 10, you get a rip, and you can see where price is headed off to this morning, okay? That is bullish. Another thing that is bullish, when you see price action move up and hold that higher ground, that's bullish. Same thing, even if you move up and do the same thing again, hold the higher ground. That's bullish, okay? This is not bullish. That's just neutral. It's not bearish. It's just neutral. Nothing says it can't go back up, okay? So it's just neutral. All right, going up, giving it up is just neutral. This, you go up, you see this? Up, hold, okay? That's a bullish behavior. That's what you want to look for, all right, when you want to make, when you want to look for long trades. That's what I look for, okay? So that's the type of behavior. I know getting it cheap feels good. Okay, But you never know how far down it's going to go. You want to see the bulls step in. If you like getting them cheap, and I do too, all right? You want to see the bulls step in, all right? Something where green erases red, okay, on those pullbacks, all right, in those uptrends, all right? So there you go. There's QQQ, okay? Green erases red over. It's not even going to be a difference because look how far we're gapping up. 567.55 is the green erases red entry on the top side. On the bottom side, red erases green under 561.80. I don't think that will be even relevant today. Okay, and on the game plan, much like SPY, I like 1 day till expiration and 8 day till expiration. Friday options on the multiple of 5 that are $3 to $15 out of the money. All right. Again, I like uptrends over VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. Now, if on SPY or QQQ, if a 10-minute downtrend happens to manifest under VWAP, like up here, okay, all right, I'm not opposed to trading it, even though it's long before the red erases green entry. I prefer to trade with the market, which would be on the bullish side. It's much safer to trade on the bullish side, okay, not on the bearish side, not in this bullish market, okay. It's much safer. I'm just going to say it'd be much more reliable to trade with the momentum, with the wind, stick with the wind, with the trend. The bigger trend, you saw the 2 hour, it's in an uptrend. You saw the daily, it's in an uptrend. You saw the weekly, the monthly, you get it. They're all in uptrends. When you do 10-minute downtrends up here, okay, keep in mind you are doing counter trend, and it's not always successful for the coyote, all right? So keep in mind when you do that, the 10-minute uptrends that happen to develop down here, I'd be more inclined to trade because, again, on the bigger time frames, they're in an uptrend, all right? So I have some of them supporting my action. Again, I'd like that 10-minute uptrend to break the rubber band candle, all right? The bullish 10-minute rubber band candle, okay? So there you go, all right? So that's just letting you know that I'm not opposed to trading 10-minute uptrends that happen to manifest or originate from down in this section here to the upside, okay? Counter trend, I'll trade some of those sometimes, but I'm just saying, buyer be warned, all right, that you are trading against the trend, all right, and you might have your lunch handed to you or stolen, all right? So keep in mind, sometimes it's just better to sit on your hands, wait for your setup. It's all about the patience and understanding your setup and what you want out of your setup because you know what to expect out of your setup, okay? QQQ, there's the game plan, all right? Let's take a look at the daily chart, all right? And let's pick up a clean one, all right? Again, just like SPY, higher low, higher high, closing over. See the 3 crossing over the 8. Over the bullish cross, okay? So it's a bullish cross, and over the 17 EMA. QQQ, okay, still in a daily uptrend. Okay, even though they took out this low wasn't below the 17, so it's not a daily downtrend. Okay, let's take a look at FNGU. All right, so notice FNGU took out this tail right here, so they got themselves in a daily downtrend by taking out this. Well, it's not a very big valley. It's only a 3-candle valley. They took out this low, made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend. Now, in order to negate the downtrend, they got to take out a high. So the high's up there, they got to take that out. So let's look at it, okay? This really is consolidation over to the right, okay, which is bullish up there in quadrant 4. Okay, now price action, you can see higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish cross, over the 17 EMA. That's bullish. So look at it. We're in a downtrend, but we're not moving down. Okay, important note to make there. Okay, downtrend, not moving down. Okay, so that's a good sign for the bulls right there. See, it's just technically in a downtrend. Okay, FNGU daily chart. Okay, again, look at the consolidation over the prior consolidation. Huge bullish behavior right here. Okay, consolidation. over consolidation. And again, consolidation over consolidation. All right, you see it? That's beautiful. That's bullish. That's a bullish environment. That is a bullish behavior. Where are you? You're up there in quadrant 4. That's bullish, okay? You're in a daily downtrend technically, but let's get it right. We're not moving down. We're moving up, all right? So this is awesome right there. FNGU, looking good. Let's take a look at a few others. IWM, okay? Got a low. We made a lower low. So yes, we're in a daily downtrend, okay? Now they lost it a couple days ago. No longer in the upper third, okay? You got to be, for me, this is my parameters, okay? I like them in the upper third to be bullish. We're in the upper third, so we're back to bullish. When we were down here, that was just neutral, okay? Remember the whole diagram? Up, give it up, that's neutral. Okay, so we were neutral down here, okay? Now we're back to up again, okay? So that's bullish up here in the upper third, okay? Anywhere on the quadrant lines up here in the upper third, that's bullish for me, okay? That's where I like it, okay? Bullish, okay? We're in a downtrend. Again, it's another downtrend that's not moving down, okay? I like that. I like it, and it's up in the upper third. That's bullish. I like that, okay? So there's IWM. We're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Let me zoom out so you can see it. Okay, this is the whole quad line. See how we're not in quadrant 4, but we're in the upper third of the whole quad line parameters from the top to the bottom. Okay, we're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP and consolidating bullishly. Okay, so maybe we had kind of a failed breakdown right here, because notice the bulls are coming right back in and snapping it up. All right, so there's IWM. All right, let's try Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow, look, it's doing some of the right stuff, but they did the same thing as IWM, okay? Notice they came, made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend, another downtrend that's not moving down. Now, there's a possibility that they do a H pattern rollover right underneath the 17. There's that possibility that that happens, all right? Right now, it's a downtrend that's not moving down, all right? And I like that. All right, I like that. Downtrend that's not moving down. Okay, if you look at the price action, it's doing some of the right stuff. Okay, it's up and over to the right. That's bullish. Okay, up and over to the right. Again, same thing. Consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, maybe they're pulling back to take a rocket ride up. We'll see what happens. This is a bullish environment. This is a bullish outlook. This is a bullish behavior, all right, so far, okay? Now they give it up and more, that'd be bearish, okay? So if they lose the lower third down here, okay, that's going to be neutral, all right? No longer bullish anymore, okay? So there's Diamond Dow. Okay, we're going to hit a few others real quick. Okay, silver. All right, we're bullish. We're up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Again, you've got sloppy consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, higher low, higher high over the bullish cross over the 17. That's bullish. Up there in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Again, in the upper third, bullish, and still in an uptrend. Okay, you got some lows, all higher lows. You got some highs, and there's the all-time high right up. That's the 13-year high right up there, okay? So still bullish, all right, and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at gold. Okay, gold, see the low right here below the 17? They made a lower low. Again, there's another technically downtrend that's not moving down. Okay, you look at yesterday's candle, lower high, lower low, but closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 and over the all-time high pink. Anchored VWAP. Again, holding this 300 level very nicely for 3 months now, going on 4 months. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. Nice big launch pad. Maybe we could do a big launch. We'll see. So there's gold on the daily chart. That's bullish. That is the all-time high. Okay, that's bullish. All right, in a downtrend that's not moving down. all right? Only because they broke that low. See them hold that higher ground, that's bullish. All right, USO. Okay, USO got this habit of moving up and giving it up, okay? Okay, they go up, they give it up. They go up, they give it up, all right? And it's just the nature of petroleum. I guess it's kind of unstable with all the other different energies coming online, like nuclear, and then you got wind, you got solar, you got a lot of different possibilities now. So, you know, I guess petroleum's going to be kind of flaky, all right? So we got to move up and back up is neutral. Okay, you got to move up, making a higher low. That's kind of bullish, but, you know, up and then back down, all right? This kind of neutral again, all right? So price action yesterday, got this funky big red candle, not a big fan. Higher low, lower low, higher high, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA, okay? Notice we were up here in the upper third. No longer are we in the upper third, so we're neutral, all right? We're not in the lower third. Down here in the lower third, that'd be bearish. This is bullish up here, so we're just neutral right through here, okay? Just neutral. Just going to zigzag on top. Up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's kind of bullish, okay? But again, moving up and giving it up, just kind of neutral there. I think they start a new downtrend, and they actually do, because we got a low here underneath the 17, and they just made a lower low, all right? So they're in a downtrend on USO, okay? UNG, didn't want to do that. All right, UNG got the bearish head and shoulders, okay, right here. All right, so got triple crown head right there, okay, and got right shoulders, that double top right there, left shoulder, this double top over here, okay. This right here, this is the all-time low, and you can see we are on making lower lows, so we're in a downtrend in a bearish head and shoulders. There's a low, there's 4 lower lows, and then look at each one of these candles. Low, 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 lower low, lower low, okay? So obviously we're in a downtrend. We keep making lower lows, okay? Right now we're in quadrant 1, so that's bearish, okay? Again, we're out to challenge these all-time lows down here, okay? So this is bearish and in a downtrend and in that head and shoulders pattern. Thanks for sharing that, Alan. The jobless claims. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at just a few other sectors. Let's just go ahead and visit the economic package and the economic sectors. Let's just visit economic package right here. Dollar still in an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. Again, price action. Okay, right through here. Okay, you got all right. That's major support when we were above. Now it's minor resistance underneath. Okay, so looking for price to come back up there and attack that. Right now, we're in a daily uptrend. Okay, what we're also in a big bear flag. Okay, because we came from this high down here, and then we got a sloppy hold down there. Okay, then we're underneath minor resistance right here. So that's a bear flag right here. Okay, so there's the dollar in an uptrend because we made higher low there, and then we have a high here, and then we made a higher high. Okay, if they take out this low, they'll be back in a downtrend right there. So there's the US dollar. We like a weak dollar, all right, makes our goods and services more affordable and more competitive globally. All right, and economic calendar, okay. Today, jobless claims at 8:30. Productivity and costs at 8:30. Wholesale inventories at 10. Natural gas report at 10. Consumer credit at 3. Tomorrow, rig count at 1. All right, that's it for the economic calendar. Today was a really light week, okay? If they want to rip it, there was nothing to stop them on the economic calendar. Okay, on the earnings, okay, we got Eli Lilly reporting this morning, $728 billion. That's $727 billion out there, okay? Toyota Motor, billion dollars. All right, but they're not sure if they're going to report today. All right, again, no sunshine, no moonlight, so I'm not sure when they're going to report. Maybe later on. Gilead Services, 138, 139 billion dollars. ConocoPhillips, $117 billion. That's this morning, right alongside Eli Lilly. Brookfield Corporation, $110 billion. Constellation Energy, $107 billion. Okay, and then some familiar market. Okay, Eli Lilly would be about the only one that could really probably move the markets. Everything else just might tweak the sector. Okay, so Eli Lilly's probably the only one on deck. And tomorrow, just familiar names. Nothing here that's going to move the markets right there. Okay, and what do we got on Max Payne, which is right here, Max Payne 631. It's for the SPY. Puts and calls that expire today at 4:15. Again, you got just a little over one put for each call that expires today. Okay, so that's it for me for today. Okay, again, we're going to mark off the first 15 minutes of trading and look for the breakout of the opening range. The opening range is the first 15 minutes. Okay, I would suspect, let me just visit SPY one more time because we did get some economic events. All right, I would suspect price to probably pull back to support, all right, which would be about the 635 area, and I would look for a J hook to manifest in that area. So I would scoot down to the smaller time frame to help find that reversal or that J hook that could manifest at the 635 area. Okay, just saying, that's what I would do this morning. That's my plan, anyways. All right, I'll see everybody in 40 minutes. All right, we're going to open up the markets here, take another peek at them. I'm sure price is going to move around before then. Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Oh, we wanted to look at one other thing. Intel. I guess Intel got walloped this morning. Yeah, down here. Nothing good happening there. And SMH. And then we'll look at SOXL. SMH is ripping right up here. Look at that. Okay, you can see SMH on the daily time frame. Okay, SMH looking good. Up there in quadrant 4, that's bullish. All right, and still in an uptrend. SMH looking good. SOXL still holding the higher ground. Technically in a downtrend. Here's a low. They made a lower low. All right, this is the bull 3x. So technically SOXL in a downtrend. SMH is not. Okay, SOXL, because they made a lower low. You got a low here below the 17, and they made a lower low. Okay, and not much really happening right there right now. Okay, just a pop up from yesterday. Not much, a little bit. All right, they need to climb on top of this 17. All right, I'd like to see them climb on top of the 17. All right. Okay, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes. We'll open up the market. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it.